In the early hours of the 25th of August, 79 CE, the rain of pumice falling on Pompeii was easing off. It seemed a good moment to leave the city and make a bid for safety. A straggling group of more than 20 fugitives, who had been taking shelter within the walls while the dreadful downpour had been at its worst, took a chance on one of the eastern gates of the city, hoping to find a way out of range of the volcanic bombardment. A few others had tried this route some hours before. One couple had fled carrying just a small key. They presumably hoped one day to return to whatever it locked, house, apartment, chest or strongbox, and a single bronze lamp. This can hardly have made much impact against the darkness of the night and the clouds of debris. But it was an expensive and fashionable object, moulded in the shape of a black African head, a hint of the, to us, disconcerting forms of ingenuity we shall often come across in Pompeii. The pair didn't make it. Overwhelmed by the pumice, they were found in 1907 where they had fallen, next to one of the grand tombs which lined this road, like others out of the city. They collapsed, in fact, next to the lavish memorial to a woman who had died perhaps 50 years before, Esquilia Polla, the wife of Numerius Herennius Celsus. Just 22 years old, as we can still read on the stone, she must have been less than half the age of her rich husband, a member of one of Pompeii's most prominent families, who had served as an officer in the Roman army and had twice been elected to the highest office in the city's local government. The layers of pumice had built up to several feet by the time the other group decided to risk escape in the same direction. Walking was slow and difficult. Most of these fugitives were young men, many carrying nothing with them, either because they had nothing to bring, or because they could no longer get to their valuables. One man had taken the precaution of arming himself with a dagger in an elegant sheath. He had another sheath with him too, empty because he had perhaps lost or lent the weapon it had held. The few women in the group had rather more. One carried a little silver statuette of the goddess Fortuna, good fortune, sitting on a throne, plus a handful of gold and silver rings. One with a tiny silver phallus attached by a chain, as a lucky charm perhaps, and another object we shall often meet in the course of this book. Others had their own little store of precious trinkets, a silver medicine box, a tiny base to hold a missing statuette, and a couple of keys, all stuffed into a cloth bag, a wooden jewellery case with a necklace, earrings, silver spoon, and more keys.